I was always stop at 135 and just think I couldn't go heavier. But then, ooh, hair in the mouth. Then I saw her going heavier and I was like, you know what? Stop being a baby, Lisa, and just fucking do it. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name's Lisa. I'm a women's online fitness coach who helps women in their 30s become their healthiest, happiest, and hottest selves. If you're not new here, welcome back. I always appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos. It is currently a beautiful Sunday at 8:05 a.m. and 66 degrees here in Vegas, and we are going to go hit a leg day. But today I want to talk a little bit about comparison when it comes to your fitness journey, your weight loss journey, whatever it is. And the reason being is Olympia is next weekend. If you don't know what Olympia is, it is the biggest bodybuilding show in the world. It is the one all professional bodybuilders aspire to be a part of and win potentially. If you know who Chris Bumstead is, or C-Bum, he's been the last, 5-time repeating champ for Classic Physique. So Olympia is next weekend. I live in Vegas. Olympia is in Vegas. I go to a bodybuilding gym. So the amount of professionals and individuals that I've seen over the last week that are actually competing in Olympia is amazing. It's so inspiring. It's so motivating. But at the same time, there's been moments where I have judged myself or compared myself, which doesn't make sense. This is like me comparing myself, like driving on the highway to like an F1 driver, right? Like these are the top of the top of the top. It doesn't make sense, but we still do it, right? So I want to talk a little bit about comparison, how to work through that, and how to focus on yourself and your own journey when we are constantly bombarded with beautiful physiques or people bragging they've lost 150 pounds in like a month, you know? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's drink this pre-workout and go hit some legs. Cheers. We have about 45 minutes to get this workout done. So this is going to be a quick ass leg day. We are going to first start with abductions, just get the glutes engaged. I have a plan for what I want to do today. So we're just going to kind of like boom, boom, boom it, get this workout done. And by the way, you don't need hours in the gym to get workouts done. I just like being in the gym. So, I'm usually here for like 2 hours. That's because I like being here. I take my time, especially when I'm filming. But today we're gonna do abductions and adductions to start. And I do have a block behind me because the way this machine is set up at my gym, I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. So when I add a block behind me, it makes me closer to the machine, which helps me engage my muscles more. But I've really struggled this week to like film in here because, like I said in the intro, all of the, pros that have been here, it's really intimidating. Not to mention they all have like not camera crews, but they'll have like a videographer to like film their workouts. And sometimes it just feels like I'm not very important. And so like I just don't want to film because I'm like using my iPhone and like doing it myself. It just makes you feel, I don't know, inadequate. That's part of why I came in so early today on a Sunday at 8 a.m. to film, because I knew there wouldn't be very many people here, especially because they're doing like a Meet the Olympians thing later today at I think noon. So I knew it was going to be busy later in the day. So I wanted to come in early and get some filming done first before it gets busy and before I let my anxiety and the intimidation stop me from doing it. Okay, next set. Remember with these, you don't want to like use your whole body to push it open. You're using your glutes. So I try to keep my upper body as stable as possible and just focus on driving my knees out and squeezing my butt cheeks. One thing that also helps is you can turn your feet so that your toes are pointed out, and that's going to help you focus on using your glutes more. I think it's just human nature for us to compare ourselves to other people, but how we respond to that comparison, I think, is kind of like the make or break. So I could either let the fact that I saw a woman in here the other day who is an Olympia competitor her hamstrings were just mind-blowing, like beautiful and huge. And I'm a person where I feel like my hamstrings are decent. For the average person, I have decent hamstrings, right? But then I saw her and immediately I felt like just a weenie. Like I was like, man, I felt like I didn't even look like I worked out, which is a bummer when you've been doing this for this long. But also, I have to understand this is her job. She eats, breathes, sleeps, trains for the intention of doing this. And yes, I love it, but I'm not on that level, you know? And that's okay. But, I felt bad about myself for like 30 minutes because while I was in the gym, kind of creeping on her and watching her. But then I was like, you know what, Lisa? She has put in the time and effort to have hamstrings that look like that. Have you put in the time and effort to look like that? And I said, no. So I can't even compare myself to that. There's no point. And I can use it as inspiration to make me push myself harder in the gym, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So remember, shoulders down and back, feet hip distance, knees are soft. Push those hips back like you're shutting a door behind you. Squeeze your glutes on the way up and keep your chin tucked. I was doing some client form videos this week, like responding to clients sending me form videos. And one of the biggest things I see is people not keeping their chin tucked, and that's going to completely throw off the alignment of your spine. Okay, we're going to up the weight, go to 45s. That was just our warm up to make sure everything felt good, which that actually brings up another really good conversation topic of comparison. I have a lot of clients ask, like, how much should I be lifting? Or what's the average or whatever. And I get it. Some people are driven by knowing like what the average is or the expectation is. But when it comes to weightlifting, you cannot compare. There's so many variables. Like I've been doing this for what, 10, 12? I've been working out for 12 years, right? So I'm going to, one, I've practiced the technique. I've done thousands and thousands of sets and reps. So my technique is going to be better than someone just starting, which means I'm going to be able to lift more and more efficiently. I've been lifting that long, so I'm obviously going to be stronger than someone that's just getting started for the most part. Granted, there's some people that are drastically stronger than I am, and that's absolutely okay. But if I were to compare myself, why, like, there's no point in comparing yourself because it's only going to make you feel bad or make you hurt yourself because you're going to jump the gun and think you need to lift more. And I think there's so much more validation in proving to yourself that you can do hard things. Like 155 has been my go-to for like my sets of like 5 or so on RDLs. I could probably go to 165, 175 for like sets of 1 or 2, but it just kind of depends on the person and on the day. And some days you're going to feel stronger than others. So there's no point of comparing yourself when it comes to lifting weights because it's such a personal thing. All right. Form for RDLs, shoulders down and back, feet hip distance, knees are soft. Okay? Push the hips back, drive up through the glutes, and you're gonna keep this barbell as close to your legs as possible. It's like you're driving or you're sliding the barbell down your legs. We're jumping up to 155, and the goal is sets of 3 to 5 here. I am currently 5 days into my deficit / cut, so calories are a bit lower, but overall I'm feeling good. I'm down. I started 152.9 and today I'm 149 flat. Now, did I lose 3 pounds in like 5 days? No, it's all water weight. That's all it is. Like, I'm not some miracle that lost like 3 pounds of body fat in the matter of 5 days. It's just water weight. But I do feel a lot better. My joints feel less achy. I feel less bloated. My digestion has been better. And I just have more energy. And I think that's because I'm being very intentional with the food that I'm eating. Lots of nutrients, lots of vegetables, lots of fruit, stuff like that. Man, these shorts are just going up my crotch today. Okay. Ooh, a big question that I get a lot is, how long should I rest in between sets? When you're doing big lifts like this, 2 to 4 minutes, or if you need longer, that's fine. Like, you need to be able to do the next set with good form. But it depends. If it's like a lower intensity exercise, I might wait 30 to 45 seconds. Essentially, like I said, to feel recovered enough to do the next set with good form. When it comes to big lifts like that, I don't time any of my rest periods. I just kind of listen to my body. But that's a question that I get a lot. If you feel like you rush your rests, you should time them. Also, if you feel like you do a set and then you can go right into the next set, you should probably go up and wait a little bit. I feel like I can already see a little bit more definition in my quad, like that quad separation. Could be my imagination, but it feels like it. You know when you get like hyper fixated on like makeup styles or hairstyles? This has been mine. A hat with like the little fringes and like a little half thrown together bun in the back. It's easy, but I feel like it's cute and looks like I put a tiny bit of effort. And it's easy to work out in. All right, another set. Okay, now we got sumo dumbbell squats or deadlifts, however you want to do it. The last time I did these, I was doing like 70, and the girl next to me was doing 100. So, you know what? Today we're going to do 100. I've done 100 before, but it's been a while. My hands are already torn up from those RDLs, but we're going to suck it up because we just got this and then banded RDL or glute bridges, and then we're pretty much done. We'll see if we have time to do some like abductions to finish. So when we're doing a sumo, we want a wide stance, toes pointed out. Knees are going to be in the same path of your toes, okay? Shoulders down and back. The hardest part is gripping the dumbbell. And now we're going to set up for banded glute bridges. My friend Stacy back in South Carolina taught me how to do these, and they're so great. Like, they're one of my favorites. I really think they made a huge difference in my glute growth. Sometimes it's just so busy over here by the dumbbells that I just don't do it, but we're going to take a band. You want it to have a decent amount of resistance, okay? Put it under one foot, put it on the other. You need a plate, whether it's a 25 or 45, band on the thighs, and then get into glute bridge or hip thrust form. Bottom of your shoulder blades are going to be on the edge. You want your toes pointed out. You're going to come down, toes come off the ground, drive up, toes touch the ground. And you want to push the band open, squeeze your butt like Nacho Libre squeeze from the bottom to the top. Take your time with these. I'm not someone that thinks you should use bands instead of weights, but bands can be a helpful accessory, especially for stuff like this. If you struggle to feel hip thrusts in your glutes, your feet might be too far away and you're using too much hamstring. So I try to make it so my knees are like a 90-degree angle. And we're gonna do like 15 of those. If you were counting and I didn't do 15, don't worry about it because I wasn't counting. Like 10 minutes left before I really need to leave. So we're gonna do 2 more sets here. Hopefully we have like a minute or two to do some more abductions and then we're done. One thing about the sumos or just lunges, all of this step ups, the more you lean forward, the more it's going to be glute focused versus quad focused. So I'll show you an example here. I'll turn sideways to show you how to do this. But I always lean forward because I always want to grow the booty, and most women do. But if you're more up and down, it's going to be more quad focused. Okay, so we're going to get into our wide sumo stance, shoulders down and back. So if you're up and down like this, you're going to work more quads. Okay, now if you're leaning more forward like this, you're going to work more glutes. See the difference? Hundreds might have been a bad idea for today. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of tired. We're gonna push through. But in regards to comparison, I think the best thing we can do is use that as motivation. So, for instance, there's a girl on Instagram, I think her name is Annalie. I've been following her for a really long time. Big booty, gorgeous legs, just goals physique, right? And I want to say like 2 years ago, I saw her consistently going up in barbell RDLs to like over 200 pounds. And she probably weighs 20 pounds less than I do. And I was just like, how the hell is this girl like RDLing like 225? And that got me motivated to start going heavier on RDLs because I would always stop at 135. I don't know, it was like a limiting belief in my head or something. But I was always stop at 135 and just think I couldn't go heavier. But then, hair in the mouth. Then I saw her going heavier and I was like, you know what? Stop being a baby, Lisa, and just fucking do it. And so since then, my heaviest RDL is like 170, I think, 180. And it wasn't, and to be honest, I don't know if I would have pushed myself to go heavier if I hadn't been watching her videos and decided like, I can go heavier. I can do better. I can challenge myself more. So instead of comparing ourselves to make ourselves feel bad, use it as motivation. Use it as like, if they can do it, so can I. And then start doing the shit you need to do to make that happen. All right, we got one more set. I'm not going to film it because I have a ton of time. So that is it for our workout today. I finished with like 3 minutes on the elliptical and then I pretty much ran out of time, so I had to leave. So thanks so much for watching another video. I'll see you guys next week.